Joyeux Noël à tous les auditeurs et toutes les auditrices du Shy Life podcast.
How are you? Hope you're fine. This is the Shy Yeti Show.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good luck, studio.
Oh, it's the Shy Life podcast.
Oh, there's gonna be some drama ahead.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
I see your mental condition is improving.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
Good boy. He said all that shy is right. She.
Blimey, Governor. It's the Shy Life podcast.
Hello, Paul.
Quack, quack, quack.
I do know how he does it.
Excellent.
What's mine?
690.
This is Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Shy Life podcast with me, Gromity, oh dear, it doesn't sound as good as Paul the Shy Yeti. It kind of flows better. Gromity the Gromity. No. With Gromity the eccentric scientist. No. I don't know. I don't even think I am eccentric. I'm unique. Oh, anyway. I don't have a very good nickname. But anyway, where was I? Yes. So, hello and welcome. Yes, this is me, the Gromity. And, oh dear. I really messed this up now. Oh dear, you really have Gromity. Thank you, Yeti Uncle John. Maybe you could do better. No, just keep on going. Keep on going, Gromity. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shy Life podcast with me, Gromity. And, what is this episode going to be about? Well, it's kind of I guess you could call it a sort of Christmas episode. But I'm not sure that Paul is fully ready to embrace the idea. No, he's not a fan of the old Christmas, is he? No. I mean, obviously, we're only just back from Vegas, and he was saying that was going to be the Christmas episode. But, we have a little, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a little story that just happens to be about Christmas. Yes, oh no. Well, let's run the theme music. When we come back, we can tell the story if nobody else will. Yes, of course. But I'm determined to get Paul involved. Oh, good luck, Gromity. Oh, run that theme music. I was supposed to say that. Too late.
Darling, it's the Shy Life podcast.
Yes, well, it's a positive thing, Paul. The high life, the Shy Life.
I'll go anywhere for a potato.
Delicious.
Hello, campers. How are you? You quite like a big bang, don't you?
Good gracious. Well, that's a whopper.
Oh,
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, he hasn't found out my secret. Yes, he has.
I love the Yeti test. It's my favorite thing.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Uncle John's ankles as well.
I could eat my body weight in crisps every day.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage?
It's all gooey and meaty. Yum.
Here comes the grizzly.
It's the Shy Life podcast.
I can't wait for it to begin.
I like that. Yeah.
Look, mommy, I'm famous.
Marvelous, Paul.
Hi there.
Oh, Gromity, I really don't want to do anything Christmassy. No, but Paul is not Christmassy in like a Christmas special sort of way. Think of it more as, all about friendship. It just happens to have happened at Christmas. Like now. I know, Gromity, I know. But, we've only just come back from Vegas and I'm still getting over the excitement, and that was very Christmassy. Well, yes, Paul, it was. I mean, I'm not sure how much that sort of translated to the listeners, but yes, I can confirm that Vegas was full of Christmas decorations. But Oh, come on. Tell them what's happened. Must I? Yes, Paul, please. He's your friend. He's not just my friend, he's everyone's friend. No, that's not true. You're the one who met him. The listeners know who we're talking about. Well, they know the person if we tell them. Yeah, all right. So, listeners, I guess Cromitty's right. It's more about Christmas presents than Christmas. So, you all know that we have a friend from Italy called Gianluca. Yeah? We first met him because it was suspected that he'd listened to too many episodes of the Shy Life podcast, and it had made him go doolally. Turns out it was quite the opposite. He was doolally, and listening to the Shy Life podcast made him extremely intelligent. Yes, Paul, of course. I still don't know how that happened. Thank you, Yeti Uncle John. Yes, well, go on, Paul. Gianluca'S, he's a very generous guy. We've had him on the show a number of times. Quite recently, you'll remember we did a little interview with him, like a voice memo type of interview. And that was nice. And it was nice to hear a bit more from him. But, he's always been very supportive in the past. He'd even, he sent like little messages of support, little gifts. For instance, this is a message he sent me about a month or two ago.
Hello, listeners. It's me, Gianluca again. Do you remember me from the episodes that I was in recently? I'm just back to say hi and to bring you lots of yummy food goodies from Italy. Pizza, lasagna, a lot of pasta. Pasta al carbonara, pasta al sugo, pasta al pesto, pasta alla matriciana, and a lot of good stuff. Okay? I've left the goodies on the table at Mr. Yeti's houses for everyone to share, but be quick, as Yeti Uncle John might see them and eat them all. You know what it's like. You know better than me. I hope you enjoy them, and I promise I'll be back again very soon to speak to you some more. Enjoy the treats, and I send you lots of love and kisses. Your friend, Gianluca. Lots of love to you too, Yeti.
So yeah, he knows I'm a big fan of Italy. He knows I've travelled quite a lot in Italy. Now let me think. In all the years I've done the podcast, we've been to Italy at least 3 times during the time of the show. I've been a lot more. I've been to Venice twice and to Verona in the time of the show, and to many other places. Venice many more times. Milan, Rome, Florence. I've seen some of Italy, but never enough. So he knows I'm a fan. So he likes to send me things. I recently discovered that the town of Bari, or the city of Bari, which he lives near, is home to a set of caves that feature in one of my favourite slightly bad Italian horror films, Alien 2, which is an Italian rip-off of Alien. It attempts to claim to be the sequel to Alien. Of course, eventually there was the film Aliens. Alien 2 is like a slightly more gory episode of Space 1999, but a lot of it is set in a big cave system. And recently, I've been talking to Gianluca, and I thought, I wonder if, considering that a lot of films were made in Italy, and, all the Giallo films I like, I wondered if any had been filmed in or near Bari. What I didn't expect was to find that Alien 2, that the caves from Alien 2 were very close to that town, stroke city. Whichever it is, I should have checked. Maybe I'll even go there one day, who knows. Oh yeah, you're going off the point, Paul. I'm going off the point. Yes, I'm sorry. So, the other day, I had a message from Gianluca, and he wanted, he very kindly wanted to send us a Christmas present. Why don't you play the message, Paul? Yes, I really should play the message. Have a listen.
Hello, Yeti. It's your friend Gianluca here. I just wanted to say hi and to say that I really appreciate how appearing on your show in 2023 has been such, fun and led me on my way to international stardom. I wanted to show my appreciation by sending you and your colleagues, of course, a gift at this holiday time. Would that be okay? Let me know and send me your address if you're cool with the idea. Okay, Yeti, goodbye for now.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice of him, Paul. It is very nice of him, yes. He is. He's a darling. He is a darling. Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, doesn't have to send presents. He's just that generous sort of guy. And he wanted to share the love. And he wanted to wish us a happy Christmas or whatever. I guess it's that sort of time of year. And, the good thing about 2023, I have to say, is that I've met a lot of new voices over the year. Some of them from chatting with people on the internet. Some of them people I already knew who finally gave in and agreed to be on the show. Well, one of the nicest things is that I've met people who don't live in the UK. Because, to be fair, I know I speak to a lot of people who live in the UK. I speak to quite a few people who live in America too. It's a big country, so, statistically, it's still quite a small percentage of the population of both America or the UK. But anyway, it's been nice to have voices from Germany and Poland and Italy, and it's just been fun. And so, of course, I sent Gianluca back a message, and, I did sort of say, you really don't have to send a present, but I gave in quite easily. Thank goodness for that. Yes. And I gave him my address. And then it was only a day or so later that I received another message from him.
Hey, Eddie. So the presents are in the post. I've sent a few, some for you and some for your podcasting colleagues. I've labeled each parcel, but I'll just talk you through it, if that's okay. You and Uncle John have bought a suit made of feathers, so he can hang around with his magpies and they will think he's one of them. Crewmatey, I've bought a new white coat for when he is working in his lab, The material is splatter-proof, so it will always remain clean. Next, I've bought a box of chocolates for the team from the music school. Each chocolate is shaped like a piano key in either white or dark chocolate. For Bettina, I've bought a music box, which I found in an Italian antique market here in Bari. I hope she likes that, I guess. It has a certain style that seems very much to match her own. There is also a set of paints and brushes for her husband, so he can work on his watercolors. For your dear friend, Ozzy, I've bought a new pair of trainers, especially for a gentleman with duck feet. I think they match the color of his beak. Last of all, well, your gift I'll save as a surprise. I hope you love the gift, sir. Goodbye for now.
Paul, that sounded great. We all got some presents. Nobody has been forgotten. Well, maybe one or two people. But he can't be expected to be sending presents to every last member of the team. Albert and Charlie Gurr wouldn't expect a present. Well, Charlie Gurr might do, but I don't know if there are any good pies that they make in Barry. But anyway. And apologies to Gianluca if I've pronounced Barry wrong. Is it Barry or Barry? Dear. It's confusing because we've got a Barry in Wales in the UK. But anyway. Yes, well, Paul, the presents sounded very good. They did, didn't they? Yeah, very promising. Yes, but unfortunately the days ticked on and, you didn't receive anything. No, I'd not received anything. I didn't know what to say. I just presumed it was slow post because it was coming up to Christmas. Yeah, well, that wouldn't be surprising. No. For instance, Matthias sent a parcel around the time of my birthday, which seemed to travel halfway around the world. He was most bamboozled by the way that the post seemed to take the longest route possible. But I'm a patient Yeti, both with that parcel and so, I was also able to be patient for the arrival of the parcels from Gianluca. Only they still didn't turn up. You're right. And then I got a message from Gianluca, saying this.
Hello, Yeti, Gianluca here. I just wondered if you received the gifts. I received an email saying that they would have been delivered, but they just wanted to be sure. Send me a message to let me know, please. Goodbye. Kiss.
That was a bit awkward. Well, it was. I didn't want him to think that I hadn't bothered to say thank you. But we hadn't got the presents. No, we'd not seen them. I even had a phone call from Bettina and Tallulah, which went, well, a bit like this.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Bettina, how are you?
Where are my presents?
Oh, gosh, you're cutting to the chase today.
I am, darling. I thought we were getting presents from Italy. What happened to them? I want to see this music box.
Well, I know. I'm sure it's very exciting.
Well, it jolly well is. Yes, but where's it got to?
Well, we're looking into it. We're looking into it because I had a message from Gianluca today, and he said that he'd received a message that said that the package had been delivered, but not to us.
Oh, well, that shouldn't be allowed.
Well, I know it shouldn't be allowed, but there's not much I can do other than ask around, I suppose.
Maybe a neighbour took it in for you, darling.
Maybe. Or maybe there's been a mistake and it hasn't been delivered yet, and it's sitting at the warehouse or something, or the sorting office. I don't know. I'll look into it.
Oh, please do. Hurry up.
All right, then. Okay.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm all right, Tallulah. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, but I'm wondering where my present is. From Italy. From that nice man.
From Gianluca? Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, we're not sure. Apparently it's supposed to have arrived, and yet we've not seen it.
Oh, dear. I hope Yeti Uncle John hasn't stolen it. You know, he might have them... He might have them all in his little magpie hut. He might be sitting there eating all my chocolates.
Oh, Tallulah. I'm sure that's not the case.
Oh, I don't know, though. I mean, as lovely as he is, he's also very greedy.
Ooh, yes. But I promise it's not him. Let me look into it. I'll get back to you.
Oh, please do, Paul. Please do. Both Martin and Reginald are pining for their chocolates.
Yes, all right, okay. I'll be in touch.
All right, then, don't be long.
I won't be. Oh. Well, thank you for sticking up for me, Paul. That's a rare occasion. Yes. I mean, not. I don't mean it's a rare occasion that. No, but I had to stand up for you. I knew that you were not directly involved. Yes. Well, I wasn't. Not at all. No, not at all. So what did you do next, Paul? Oh, there was nothing much for it but to try and get in contact with Gianluca. As usual, you know, he's working. I'm not always by the phone. We leave messages for one another. We don't always catch each other to talk. So I left this message. Hi, Gianluca, it's me, Yeti. Show Yeti from London. Yeah, I got your message. I'm sorry I hadn't called to say that the parcels had arrived, because the trouble is, the parcels haven't arrived. I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit concerned if you're being told that it's been delivered, because it's not being delivered to me. It could have been delivered to a neighbour. I'll try to find out. Maybe there's some mistake. Maybe it means that it's being delivered to the post office. Look, let me look into it, and maybe you can just check your end, and I'll let you know. Sorry about this. The Christmas time of year is, baffling at the best of times. All right. Hope you're well. All right. Bye for now. Oh dear, that must have made him confused. It's so annoying, isn't it, when you send somebody a present and they don't get it, or for some reason things get more confusing. Back when I was dating Milo, I was always sending him little gifts to cheer him up. You know, a bottle of wine here, some chocolates there. I was always, wanting to please him. Yes, of course. Yes, but, well, it didn't always work out. Sometimes, he wouldn't be there and they'd need a signature, or he was there but he didn't hear the door knock, or he was having a nap. Oh, it always seemed to be more trouble than it was worth. Yes, I know that feeling. You're trying to do something nice for somebody, but then for whatever reason, you feel like you're making matters worse, or, you're making what should be a simple thing, it becomes a massive big deal. But anyway, Gianluca got my message and then he called me back.
Hello, Yeti. That's really worrying, honestly. I wonder where the gifts have gone into. I'll try and investigate from my end if you can do the same and ask around your neighbors. If only your friend Ozzy had been free. I hear that he's a very efficient courier. Well, speak soon.
Hello everyone!
Hello!
This is Andrew
and Lisa
from Round the Archives, wishing everyone at the Shy Life podcast a very messy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a very messy Christmas. It's important that it be messy.
Okay.
Messy cake, lots of messy kisses, under your mistletoe.
Yes.
And lots of messy mince peas. But pies. Well, you can have mince peas if you want.
Yes. Well,
just make sure it goes everywhere.
Okay. Okay. So, Merry Christmas to all of you at home.
Is it? Are we stopping at that? I was going to make it longer than that.
Are you going to make it longer than that? Go on then.
Yeah, I was just going to sing a little song.
Oh, God, go on then.
I was going to sing that. Hark the herald. Oh, Rose has come. Rose has landed on my computer box and made a noise. Rose is now going off to look at the Christmas tree, isn't she? For today, we have put up the tree, haven't we?
Yes, we have, yes.
And we have dedicated it, we have decorated it and dedicated it with many what?
Balls.
Many balls.
Yes.
And what did Rose do?
She knocked up balls off the Christmas tree.
She played with
with balls, yes.
Yeah, so it's important to have Christmas balls, isn't it, Lisa?
Yes, cats like balls.
Well, I quite like them. I enjoyed putting them up and handling them. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah, it? You had to go upstairs to get the tree, didn't it?
Well, I wouldn't got the balls, you got the tree.
Yeah. That was good. Now it is up.
Yeah.
And the star is
a bit wonky.
It's better than it was, because the top of it is a bit wavy, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, so Rose has now gone on in the kitchen for a crunch.
Yes.
But yeah. So yeah. Have an happy Noel.
Unhappy or a happy?
An happy, because it starts with an H. So
okay.
Like you should say, I've gone in an hotel. Okay. You should technically say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like yeah. But yeah, have a good one.
Yes.
And give yourself what you deserve.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Right.
So I'm going to go off now and give myself what I deserve.
Really?
Which is why it's going to be messy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dear Diary, I forget that time is passing by differently on Earth than in my magical school, and it's already December. I was so occupied with preparation to the magical tournament that I had no time to buy presents, but I want to wish everyone magical holidays. I hope you spend this time in your own style, with family or without, or with chosen family, depending on your preferences. Oh, I think I should also add Polish wishes, so I wish you Wesołych Świąt.
Hello, Mr. Shy Yeti, and everybody on the Shy Yeti podcast. This is Warren here, Uncle Warren, from the Cinematic Sausage podcast, and occasional guest. I'm just really calling in to wish you, the listener, Paul, and all the characters in the Shy Life world.
Which one of you is looking for Big Dick?
I'm really sorry about that. I was watching a collection of Carry On films, and I sat on the remote control there a moment. Sorry about that.
Oh, me theodolite's broken.
So, from myself to everybody, a very, very Merry Christmas, and hopefully an exciting New Year for you all. Bye-bye now.
Stuart Farquhar. Stupid what? I think he was right the first time.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for the Yeti and the Shy Life podcast listeners. Matt here from Germany, wishing you all a Merry Christmas.
So what happened next, Paul? After Gianluca called me back? Well, we looked, didn't we? We knocked on the neighbours, but nobody had seen our parcel with all the gifts in. Yes. It was annoying, wasn't it? It was annoying, although the resolution was just around the corner. Yeah, quite literally. Yes, quite literally. Listeners, before we tell you what the resolution was, we shall share with you something else. Maybe something nice and Christmassy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some grumbling from Martin and I. I'm not sure. That's kind of Christmassy. Oh, Paul. No, grumbling is exactly what people do at Christmas. They grumble to their relatives, about their relatives. Yeah. I think grumbling would be the order of the day. Oh dear, Paul. I remember last year we had Yudgeness. Why didn't we have Yudgeness this year? Well, because you already had your turn. Yeah, well, what about Cromittiness? We did not need Cromittiness. It was a one-off thing, wasn't it, Paul? It was. As nice as it was to be waited on hand and foot by Yeti Uncle John. Oh, yeah. Oh, well. All right, then. You put your grumbling on. Yes, all right, listeners. Have a listen to us grumbling. Oh, dear, Paul. So Christmassy. I'd be very judgmental on the list of... There's loads of words here, and I'm like, no, that's not good enough. No.
The randomizer of grump. I see. So I'm not getting the full grump experience. I should get quite grumpy about that, Paul. We should just take them as we find them.
I wouldn't want us to discuss with the listeners. It's just not the sort of... We're not that sort.
We might traumatise them.
But,
right. Oh dear. It's a lot. Do people get grumpy about things that really shouldn't be talked about?
I don't want to put you through the trauma of discussing some of the things in this book.
Quite right too. Quite right. You're very caring person. I probably won't remember most of it. I hope you're ticking off the ones we have.
Well, I'm sticking a train ticket in this book at each point where we've got to. So, I do know where we've got to, but I'll tell you some of the ones I'm going to reject because they're just not good enough. We've got cleaning the bathroom. We don't want to talk about that. That's just boring.
God, no.
Mouldy sponges. We don't want to talk about mouldy sponges or lack of closet space. We don't call them closets either. So,
it's an American book, is it? Oh dear me. Well, we couldn't get grumpy about American books if you
rotten vegetables, peeling paint. None of those very interesting. Christmas sweaters. Christmas sweaters. What do you think about Christmas sweaters? I can't imagine that you don't wear them, do you?
No, I don't. No, I will refuse even to put the paper hat on out of the cracker. I'm very, very dull. My partner has a selection. Actually, she does have a selection of Christmas sweaters, and every year seems to acquire more. But weirdly, I always say, well, you can only really wear them for a day a year because you don't want to wear the same one 2 days on the run. So you wear one and then you put that in the wash and you wear a different one the next day. And over the course of the last few days at work, and of course it's reduced days anyway these days. So it's kind of you've got 10. You're probably going to wear them one day, and in the middle of sort of March when it gets chilly, the Rudolph jumper really ain't the thing, is it? Yeah,
well, I mean, that's a grumble I can connected to that. You mentioned party Christmas hats. Look, the state of those things these days. The last Christmas party I went to, they're not hats, they're more like ribbons. Yeah. They're about half the size that they used to be.
And indeed, if you're prone to sweating as gentlemen of a certain age, basically they turn to mush very quickly. That's another reason why I stopped wearing them. You end up walking around with a sort of pink ridge mark on your forehead. And it's just...
they're more like tiaras these days. They're not crowns. They're not...
No. I mean, obviously, if you buy expensive crackers, you still get all those jiggery pokery and everything like that. But
I obviously don't go to the right parties. I've not seen a decent paper hat in decades.
I've told you before, I have social anxiety, but I suppose I just get very self-conscious, and I'm not a big fan of things that draw attention to. It's weird. Recently, because I'm not one for T-shirts either. Even though I sometimes design T-shirts, I'm not much of a one for wearing a T-shirt that tells the world that I'm interested in this or that or whatever. I feel that somehow that idea that somebody can make a snap judgment on you purely on what you've got written on your, what band you've got on your T-shirt or what television program or what image you've got on your T-shirt, somehow that makes me feel uncomfortable. And yet recently I've started putting lapel badges on my jacket, which does exactly the same thing really, and I find that I sort of became very conscious of the fact that suddenly I'm thinking, well, I've got a prisoner badge and I've got a RSPB badge on my lapel. That tells people I'm interested in birds and, television. I've got a Doctor Who lapel badge. And I just think normally this would be something that I wouldn't want to do. But I think it also says something a little bit about the fact I'm moving in slightly different circles than I used to these days.
I never used to have... my dad was never keen on jeans anyway. And so I was probably well into my 30s before I got like a jean jacket. I had two. I had a dark blue one, and then I had one that was more for the winter. It was a little lighter blue, but it had a bit of a furry...
were you a stitcher? Did you stitch patches on?
I didn't stitch, but I badged. And I had quite a lot of badges. And also, I used to be a big fan of the now sadly defunct company Paper Chase.
Yes, of course.
And Paper Chase used to have some great logos. I don't know. I had friends, but this is probably the noughties. I had friends who did drawings, and some of them did the little logos and Yeti logos. And I was kind of like, I wish you could get your artwork on Paper Chase stuff. Well, I wonder how they recruit their artists. Is there any way you can sort of... Because they were perfect. They were very much like the sort of, there were characters and there were monsters. They did monsters, they did cats, they did all sorts of different logos over the years. And sometimes there'd be a not so good design, but they did also when they did their range, they do like a mug, they do badges, they do stationery, they do pencil cases, and I always bought the badges or the fridge magnets. And so I'd have. So it got to the stage where my coat was almost like sort of weighed down by the amount of badges that were on it.
Well, when I was a kid, a lot of the people at school, not obviously on their blazers, but in their their social life, they would have these would hand stitch the band names. So they would spell out the name of whatever their favourite band was on the back of their jackets and stuff. So it's a bit like, weirdly, it's a bit like sort of Hell's Angels kind of branding when you think about it now. But I was not really a fan of that. I don't know why. I've always been uncomfortable with that instant identification, which possibly explains why I don't know anybody, because you don't get people walking up to you going, "Oh wow, I love that too," and maybe that's because I don't want people walking up to me going, "Oh wow, I love that too." Maybe that would freak me out even more. But you see, I think there are, again back to the Christmas jumping, I mean they are so, I mean, a great big Rudolph head with a red bubble on it for the nose, to me, is something you can really probably get away with once, and I would get away with not at all. But there are some very nice Norwegian sort of festive patterns that you could probably get away with in March. But there's a very fine line between tasteful. I mean, my mum used to always buy me patterned sweatshirts or sweatshirts with badges on. I hated them. I absolutely hated them. Where I like a plain black, plain black or plain coloured top, really. I mean, nowadays when I go on holiday, it's weird. I would go on holiday and I would go to the Cheers bar in Boston and I would buy a Cheers t-shirt, but I've never worn it. I went to Port Miriam and I bought a Prisoner shirt. I've never worn it. But, it's kind of weird that I quite like the branded thing, but I don't quite like wearing the branded thing.
I have worn branded things, but I also went for a stage of making like merch for, and I think I probably still could do. I used to make merch for my poetry books, and I've got say if Dealey was on the front cover of a poetry book, I did, and I also did t-shirts with Dealey on, and a few different things, and I think I probably did wear them for a while, but now I've outgrown them. But my flatmate who sort of said, "You've got t-shirts in here you can't wear," and I'm like, "Yeah, but can't wear them." But they're not about being t-shirts anymore. They're about being Dealey merch or about
Well, this is it. I mean, I've designed shirts for other people, and quite often they will give me a copy that they've had when they've had them printed. And they'll send me the shirt, and I think, well, that's very nice, but it's your band or your whatever, your play or something. So I mean, I've got when I was in the theatre 20 years ago, I used to do the posters, and sometimes the director would have the poster printed on a shirt and give it to all the cast and all the crew, and I get handed one. So I've got drawers with these shirts in, which I've never worn, and of course they are very specific to a specific date that's kind of a long time past. It's weird. I mean, when you watch shows and they have posters for concerts on the wall, I don't know. I suppose it's a kind of wallowing in the past thing. Now, I can't criticise anybody for wallowing in the past, but for some reason, I feel that sort of t-shirt should be advertising something future. I don't think wearing a shirt that's talking about a show that was on 5 years ago somehow feels a bit. I know there's retro and there's comfort in that, but for some reason it just, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me.
It's funny. There's something you said earlier in this part of the conversation that reminded me of something about people drawing attention to themselves or not liking being drawn attention to themselves. When I was on my university course, the librarian course, the more you got into the course, the more you had to kind of decide what path you wanted to follow. And I tended to follow sort of college libraries or public libraries. And one of the things we had to do for one of those courses was do, I think it was children's fiction. We had to do a presentation. Now, because I was doing something part by that, I had the video camera, and I was really keen that I sort of said to my group, we could do a video that's going to make us stand out, because not many other people would do that. Although another group, when they realised what we were onto, sort of said to me, if you come and do a video for us with your camera, we'll buy you a bottle of wine and some chocolates. And so I actually did myself out of my. Well, I actually did.
Exclusivity.
That swung it. So I was like,
you sold yourself down the river for some.
I mean, we still did it.
Many a young lad has been led astray by such things.
But anyway, so I helped them. But I also did do our video. But I was the only boy in our group, and none of the girls wanted to be on camera. They didn't want to draw attention to themselves. Or they didn't want, it was like, I don't know, I don't want to be in front of the camera. So in the end, I had to do a little video about, I just got a load of the books, Doctor Who books. I don't think I was on the camera because I was filming, but I did books, and also I did sort of Doctor Who books and things like Nicholas Fisk and whatever I could lay hands on. So anyway, these girls who didn't want to be in front of the camera were still happy for me to. This is how we begun our presentation before we put the video on. I dressed up as Horner the Amphibian Man, which was one of my characters in Sutton Park. I put this mask on and these scary gloves. And at the time, I had a Tom Baker Doctor Who scarf that a friend's mother had knitted me. The girls were quite happy to be wrapped round and round in the scarf, and for me to enter the room and drag them in like the monster was kind of dragging in the. I mean, if they'd have just done the video, they would. I mean, it's sort of weird. They didn't want to be in front of the camera, and yet they were quite happy to be wrapped in a scarf and dragged into the room by an amphibian monster.
The strangeness of being that sort of age.
It's kind of like.
Anyway, and it all came out in court, and
I can't quite remember how we got from that initial dragging them into the room, and then kind of go. Anyway, here's our presentation.
Fair enough. Well, these things, it's all part of the creative process, Paul. And I think that the one thing that made me uncomfortable, I suspect maybe it was growing up where I grew up. I mean, living on the outskirts of Manchester as I did, obviously people used to wear, their blue and their red shirts for the football, and maybe it's just that I always felt uncomfortable with this identity through a sports shirt, and so maybe I extrapolate that into identity through other things. I don't like the idea that you walk into a bar and you happen to be wearing the wrong colour shirt, somebody might take a swing at you or whatever. And I think there was a lot of that culture when we were growing up that I just didn't feel comfortable with and didn't have any engagement with. I mean, we were not a football family at all. We didn't pay any attention to it. So I was a bit bewildered by this what team do you support stuff but this idea of sports shirts. My mum bought me a couple of rugby shirts. I have a Welsh rugby shirt from 20 odd years ago. And I don't think I wear it much because, again, it's sort of, it immediately marks you out as being that, if you see what I mean. I don't know, I feel weird about that. But, you see, again, Christmas and Christmas jumpers have the same kind of effect on me. I just sort of feel, maybe I'm just terrified of appearing a bit silly, which is daft because I spend most of my life being incredibly silly. So, I mean, not necessarily consciously or deliberately, I'm just a bit of a stupid person sometimes. So maybe I it's that self-consciousness that I'm not very keen on. And yet, again, back in the day, I sometimes wore very flamboyant outfits. So
I know what you mean, because I know that I was always a very silly person, but I knew when was the right time to be silly. I always used to hate it. I mean, I think probably. It could have been worse had I been at a different school. But my school, things were. There were the people who mucked around, but they didn't muck around as much as you heard other people's schools. But I always kind of resented the idea that if somebody mucked around in class, that the class might get detention, because I didn't see why mucking around was worth. Then we'd have to be back. We'd have to spend more time in the school because you want to throw some. You want to
and because one person, you all get punished. I think, again, I suppose that's another thing, isn't it? Because school uniforms used to target you, didn't they? I mean, people, if you were from the wrong school, that could be quite brutal as well. Like I say, I'm just not very comfortable with instant labelling, I suppose. It just makes me feel a bit... I mean, I am becoming more comfortable with it, but I didn't like to be known as a fan of a thing. I didn't like people to pigeonhole me.
The dreadful
like
thing is that because I went to the grammar school, we were in the Cathedral Close, so I only found out later because some people who were on my show went to some of the less nice or less. My school was.
Did you have a very, very distinctive blazer that people used to...
Well, this is the thing. What I would say is that I think that my friend's school, which was more of a rough Grange Hill type school, I think they were more aware of the grammar school boys, but their schools were right on the edge of... They were a right slog to get to, whereas the grammar school, at least I think the girls' grammar school was a bit more out of the way. The boys' grammar school was... In the Cathedral Close, 5 minutes from when you were in 6th year, you could nip into town at lunch break. I never saw any of the boys from the more rough schools. And I only realised in conversation years later that there was a resentment about the grammar school boys because to me they didn't even exist. They literally didn't exist because they were in a different part of town. You never saw them. I didn't have any friends at the time who went to those schools.
Sometimes people just live in their heads.
So I never even thought about them, but they were obviously thinking about us, which was very bizarre.
Well, we were in a kind of microcosm. We had a school uniform, we had tie, blazer, but it was a fairly simple thing. But we were opposite the grammar school that had the yellow piping, the piping, the Peter Davison style edging. So they had yellow piping on there, and so they were instantly spottable. From a mile away, you could see this yellow on black. And the opposite us also, there was the girls' comfort school, and they had a blue, I think it was a blue striped blazer, blue and white striped blazer. So they stood out like Belisha beacons, And on one level, you can see that parents are trying to make their children stand out in some ways. I mean, there's a school I drive past sometimes, and I'm sure it says we are making tomorrow's leaders or something. And you just think, oh please, just don't do that. But it's kind of weird because some people want to stand out, and some people just want to basically hide in the shadows. And I suspect I'm a hide in the shadows kind of person.
You're right though, because our school was just a very boring dark blue until you got to the sixth form. Once you got to the sixth form, the sixth form had it's one of my favourite blues. Is it? It's not Costa. Is it Cafe Nero that has a nice blue colour to it? But anyway, it's like a sky. It's like the blazer was the colour of a beautiful blue sky on a summer's day with no clouds. It was that lovely, to me anyway, lovely sort of mid-colour blue. And the blazer was like that. So I really liked our sixth form blazer. But I guess that would have made us stand out a bit more. But I couldn't even have told you what the school uniform colours were. In sixth form, mostly I'd be out in town, maybe at lunchtime, but with those schools being on the outskirts, I never even thought about this till we started talking about it. Why did I float around and never have any problem with any kids from other schools? Well, basically, because when I was in town, it would have been in a free period or at lunchtime, when the other kids would have been the far side of Salisbury and nowhere near the town. And what did I do when I finished school? I went and caught the bus home, which was just across the road from... So even if other schools were out of school by then, I couldn't even tell you what their uniforms were. It's like I lived in a little bubble. I never really thought about this until you mentioned it. We were like princes. We didn't even know anyone else existed. We were dreadful snobs.
Princes of the universe, Paul. Princes of the universe. There we are.
There were probably some... I don't think we have any public schools around, so we have some private schools, but we don't think we have public schools. So there wasn't Because otherwise you could get levels of sort of priority,
hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
A hierarchy of poshness.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of
Poshos.
But,
yes.
Anyway.
Well, poshos are usually the worst. They're the thugs, aren't they?
Well,
well, there we go. We've rattled, Paul.
Well,
we've rattled. Well, we didn't get to grump very much, but I think we had a nice nostalgic wallow instead, and that's not the worst thing in the world.
And drawing attention to oneself. Well, we'll have
it's all part of the
grumble
fun.
Another time.
Fabulous. Okay, nice to speak to you, Paul. You take care.
So, listeners, I hope you enjoyed that. So, the solution about where the missing gifts had got to was solved relatively quickly because we looked everywhere. We'd spoken to the post office. I guess Gianluca was asking his end, but I think we kind of knew for sure that the parcel had got over to the UK. It's just where it had gone to. The only thing we hadn't thought about immediately was, having joked that it was Yeti Uncle John who was responsible, we actually discovered that Yeti Uncle John kind of was responsible. Strictly speaking, that's not true. One, no, because you didn't know about it either. But you are the guardian of the magpies. I am the guardian of the magpies, and I admit the magpies were responsible, but they were doing a good thing. Yeah. I mean, I admit that. Listeners, well, shall I share the phone call we had? I think so. Do it. All right, listeners. This is what happened. I just got back to the flat. I put my feet up with a cup of tea, and then the phone rang. And it was Yeti Uncle John. Paul, I've got the presents. You've got the presents? Yeah. I found them. Well, not exactly. The magpies revealed them to me. The magpies revealed them to you? The magpies stole them? No. Magpies didn't steal them. But those evil, thieving heavens nearly did. Oh, the criminal heavens. Haven't we seen them before? I believe so, Paul. Weren't they the ones who tried to break into that antique shop, dressed up as people or something? Something like that. Or are we getting confused? We might be. Anyway, they are well known in this area for being trouble. Yes, they are. What, so they tried to steal our parcels? Well, no, I think they were in the area and the magpies were aware of their activity and knew the parcels had been left outside the flat. Oh, well, that's not good. Where was I when they tried to deliver the parcel? I don't know, Paul. It was early, I think. You were sleeping or being sat on by Dealey. Now, that's a possibility. Yes, well, they took the presents in, but then they forgot to tell me. They weren't stealing them or anything. They were trying to prevent them being stolen, if anything. Well, fair enough. Thank you. Tell them thank you for looking after them. Yeah. Are you going to bring them over? Of course. Oh dear, you're impatient. No, excited. Oh dear. Well, I've tried on my present. You've opened your present. I have. The feather suit. The magpies can't believe it. They think I'm a giant magpie. Well, in a way, you are a giant magpie. You're a giant magpie to us anyway, Yeti Uncle John. Thank you. Bring the presents over. All right, I will. Dear, oh dear. So, the problem was solved. Yes, the problem was solved. Which was marvellous. Everyone was very pleased. We managed to distribute the presents around everybody. And, of course, everybody was passing me messages of thanks to pass on to Gianluca. And, I gave Gianluca a very quick call to let him know. Gianluca, it's me, Paul. Good news, the presents showed up. Apparently there was potential thievery going on in the area, and yet Uncle John's magpies took the presents in and looked after them, and then completely forgot them. At least that's the story I've heard. Hopefully everybody will be in touch. I've given them your WhatsApp so that they can ping a message of thanks to you. Hope you're doing okay. And thank you so much for the present and for my present. Yeah, all right, speak to you soon. You take care. Bye for now. Soon after, we had a reply.
Phew, what a relief. I'm so glad the gifts turned up. I've received some lovely messages from your teams thanking me, but really, it's been an absolute pleasure. Just a little thank you for your friendship and for accepting me into the fantastic Yeti world. Best wishes for the holidays, and I look forward to further adventures in 2024. See you soon, Yeti.
Hello, it's me, Ozymandias the Talking Duck. I hope that's Gianluca there. I just wanted to thank you so much for my new trainers. I get through pairs so quickly, and it's not that easy to get replacements. There aren't that many duck-human hybrids around, and, I really like the colour of the shoes and how they match my beak. Yeah. I hope you have a lovely Christmas. I wish you well for the new year, and, if you ever need somebody to deliver you something, you've got my number now, so thank you. Best wishes. Quack, quack, quack. Yeah. Oh, yes, quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Hello, it's me, Tallulah Trinklehorn. Is that you, Gianluca? Oh, I'm just calling to say thank you so much for the chocolates. We loved them, didn't we, Martin? Oh, yeah, Mum. We love them. Thanks, Gianluca. What do you think, Reginald?
We love them very much. We love them so much that we ate them all far too quickly, I'm ashamed to say.
Oh, well, we couldn't help ourselves. Hey, just a minute. I think there's a third layer in this box.
You what? I thought there was just 2 layers.
Oh, my goodness. We've got more. We've got more. Oh, all right, Gianluca. Thank you very much. We've got to eat the rest of your chocolates.
Oh, this is wonderful. I can't believe it. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. Oh.
Hello. It's me, Carmody. Gianluca, is that you? I just wanted to thank you so much for my new lab coat. It's amazing. I am very good at dropping things down myself, but to have a white coat that, is splatterproof, it's amazing. It's difficult, to keep a white lab coat white. It's not easy. So thank you so much. Thank you. And hopefully we'll speak again soon, and I can thank you in person. We must meet next year. We must. All right, goodbye for now. Thank you so much again. Goodbye. Hello, it's me, your Uncle John. Just a message for Gianluca. Just want to thank you so much for my sort of feathery jacket, and the magpies. The magpies really admire me now, more than they've ever done. They seem to think I'm somehow cool and trendy, which has never been the case in the past. But apologies for the delay. I mean, as far as the actual the gifts getting to us, it's a long story, but I'm sure Paul's explained it. But anyway, thank you so much, and speak to you soon, mate. Thank you. Yeah, if I can do anything for you, just let me know. I've got lots of merchandising. Anyway, I won't talk about merch. It's not appropriate. All right, bye for now. Bye. Hi again, Gianluca. Thank you. My present. It's amazing, so useful, and so unexpected. Anyway, I'll speak to you personally. We'll talk. Just let me know when you're free. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, darling. Hello, it's me, Bettina. How are you? I hope this message is going to the right person. The lovely Gianluca. Oh, darling, thank you so much for the music box. Oh, it really is my style. I love it. 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 Oh, I must come over to Barry. I want to go to this antique shop. It seems like they have some really good trinkets. August is here nearby. August, say thank you to Gianluca for the paints, won't you? Oh, right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gianluca, for the paints. I'm painting with them. It's all very painty and nice. Thank you. Darling. Sorry, it's not terribly eloquent, but yes, he's very grateful anyway. Oh, as am I. Such a wonderful box. Yes, so lovely. Thank you. Thank you. 1 million kisses, 1,000,001 kisses. Mwah. Oh, darling.
So there we are, listeners. The end of our little Christmas tale. I mean, we've all got these stories where we send presents to people and they don't get there or they're delayed or anyway. At least our presents did arrive. So generous, so kind. We don't expect presents on the Shy Life podcast, but it's so nice to receive them when we do. What can I say? Oh, dear Paul, you're not hinting that the listeners should send you a present. Would I do that? Well, yeah, you probably would. Well, no, it's fine. I'm telling this story because it's a rare thing to happen. Has to be said. And I wanted to show our appreciation. Yeah. Didn't something else happen with the music box or something? Oh, yeah, well, we'll save that for after after we said goodbye. You what? What's going on now? There was a little sort of extra bit that, involves Bettina. Oh, with the music box that she got. Oh, yeah, what went on there? Well, let's wait and you'll see what happened. Oh, all right. No spoilers. No spoilers, no. Dios. Listeners, Dios is here, but he's resting. Dios, we have a visitor. Dios. Dales, get excited. I've got a visitor. Dales is excited, just not verbally. Who is it, Dales? Tell the listeners. It's Callum, listeners. It's Callum Dales. Hello, Callum.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm alright, we've had pizza. Well, that's even better.
Cool.
Even better.
Bursting.
And Dales is here.
Bursting.
He's very happy to see
Bloated.
you. He's doing that eye thing where he
very
I'm very happy.
Slowly.
That's
closing.
kisses, that's eye kisses. Yeah. Yeah.
Noiselessly closing the eyes.
He's listening, taking it in. He's very intelligent. Hi, Dales. Yeah. We're not going to do any quizzes this time, listeners, because I've got plenty in the store. But there will be more Christmas. There will be more quizzes in 2024. Yes, there will. Callum, what do you say? Happy Christmas to the listeners, please.
Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas to the listeners.
And
the watchers.
And then next year.
Happy Christmas again for next year.
No. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, and the listeners. And the viewers.
Dales thinks you're saying it to him. Well, you are in a way.
He really likes the sound of my voice.
Dales likes being told how handsome he is. He knows it already, but he still likes to hear it. Dales is the handsomest cat I've ever met. Is that right? But no other cats exist. Yeah? That's not true. We know other cats exist. The ones at my parents' house are slightly... They're just not as good as you. They're not. I see that they are at least a little bit sociable to my parents, but they don't make an effort. No, they don't make an effort. Well, I don't mind because I've got the deals. But, anyway, right. Well, that's quite enough for now. We've got other things to be doing this episode. Happy Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll be talking to each other on Christmas Day, so who knows, maybe there'll be quizzes then. Depends whether this comes out before then or after then. It's all very confusing. It's all very confusing, very timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly Deals. Deals is confused. Yeah. Hi listeners, we're in Wimbledon and there's somebody here who wants to say something. You won't expect him here. He doesn't usually wander around Wimbledon. But anyway, it's Patrick. Patrick, do you remember Patrick? We did a podcast. We went for a walk in the woods back in the summer. It's Patrick. Yay! Hi Patrick.
Hello everyone.
What are you doing in London?
What am I doing? Actually, I don't know. Just passing by.
Meeting me.
Meeting you, of course.
That's not the main
obviously.
You came to see a gig. Went to a gig.
I'm just going through. Coming to Poland through London, which doesn't make any sense, but it was cheaper. That's
I'm
why.
glad you did though. It's only a few months, but it seems a long time ago. We just realised how many things have happened since we last saw each other. I think that as it's almost Christmas, you should say something to the listeners. Don't be rude.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year.
Oh, look, he sung to you, listeners. Isn't that wonderful? Not everybody does that, singing. Anyway, well, thank you very much for the episode that we recorded and coming to see me back in the summer and for meeting me again today and the listeners are ever so excited to hear you. So, but we do have quite a few other special guests this episode, so not that diminishes your presence here. But anyway, we have got other things we need to do. But anyway, goodbye. Say goodbye, listeners. Say goodbye, Patrick.
Goodbye.
Oh, we'll see him again. Don't worry. Don't cry, dear. Hi, listeners. I'm at a pub in West Byfleet, and there's somebody here who wants to say hello. It's Wifey Joe. How are you, Wifey Joe?
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello.
It's been a while since we've been so close together.
It's been a long while.
We have kept in touch, as you know, listeners. But yes, she still exists.
Yes, I'm still very much here in the flesh. Hello. You can. Here I am.
That's very nice.
Still very much in existence.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Yes, I've just finished work for the Christmas break last week, so yeah, I know, I'm very pleased. So I'm off work this week. I'm obviously off next, so yeah, and because of the way Christmas and so forth is falling, and I don't work Tuesdays, I don't actually go back till Wednesday the 3rd of January, so I've got a nice long break. So I'm very pleased, and I've started it with lunch out, so that's really rather nice.
So yes, we've mainly been moaning about aches and pains and bad transport links, which is why we haven't recorded. Yeah, we haven't recorded a long chat this time, but we've just been catching up. But yes, it's good to have you back on the show.
Thank you. It's been a long time, and I've missed you. I've missed you all terribly. Missed you, darlings.
And whilst you're here,
yes,
could you wish them a happy Christmas?
Happy Christmas. A bit louder.
Yeah, a bit louder.
Oh, okay. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, ho ho ho. We've just had a very nice meal. I had a what do they call it? Surf, turf, and
bird surf and turf.
Oh, bird surf and turf. Yeah, there's some chicken, some prawns, and some steaks. Actually, steak was very good. I'm sorry, vegetarians. Out there.
Sweet corn was excellent.
Sweet corn was excellent. Yes.
Ate it most delicately.
Yes, I always try to avoid things that could potentially be embarrassing to eat in public. But I'm not very good, particularly. I'm not having the best day with my rheumatism today. Although actually, I'm a bit better than I was. But like for instance, I never eat spaghetti in public because it's just it'll end up on the ceiling or whatever. But I'd forgotten. Everything I had today was fine except for the sweet corn. And it's like, how do I eat the sweet corn? I did try and sort of carve it to start with, and Jo said, "Oh, you're doing it very neatly there." And I'm like, she said, I just bite into it. And I'm like, well, I was going to, but I just wasn't sure if that was polite to do it. So just get on, do it. So
We've known each other for too long.
Yes, yeah. So I did, and he got it overdone with cricket.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too messy.
And then I had an ice cream as well, which was very nice.
You did, with an escaping strawberry.
Yeah, with an escaping strawberry and an escaping blueberry, to be honest. But yeah, I do like ice creams, but I think there's too much focus on chocolate and toffee and those types of ice cream. I mean.
Yes, thank you.
Left room, producer. She's had herself.
Another one. Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Can I get you anything else?
No, I think we're done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you later. Have a lovely Christmas. Thank you.
What were we saying? Yes. Anyway, yes. Oh, I can debate about.
Too much focus on chocolate.
I could debate on over ice creams for. I was even looking to see whether they still did things like I used to like Cherry Garcia. I don't think they even make that. No, I don't know if it's because the cherries are too expensive. Something maybe. And they used to do strawberry cheesecake. That's the Ben and Jerry's ones.
Yeah.
I think you can still get that, but
Kelly's made the strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. Like sometimes we get pizza from Domino's. Sorry, we're not advertising, although maybe we should be.
Other pizza purveyors are
available, yeah, and they have ice cream that you can get then.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They have ice cream that you can order, but it's all of the chocolatey type ones, which I don't mind those, but I want. Just disappointing. Anyway, don't want to end up on a sad note, listeners. This is just a quick hello, but anyway, we'll return to have a further moan about ice cream next year. I'm sure other desserts we can moan about. Actually, although I think the state of apple crumbles and other crumbles has improved in the last few years, but we can discuss that another time. Anyway, sorry, I'm wandering off on my own here. So, thank you. Good to see you, Joe.
And you too. Take care.
And yes, listeners, let's go back to what we were doing. Yes, right. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Bye. Hi, listeners. We're at the pub we usually go to in Surbiton. I'm here with Harry. Harry, how are you?
I am fine, yes.
We haven't seen one another since my birthday meal.
Yes, that's right, and I'm still in my 40s and you're not.
I know. Never mind.
Not for much longer.
You must feel like you're missing out.
Yeah, exactly. I've got all of that fun to come.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, as it's almost the time of goodwill, I thought you could probably say...
Oh yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Merry Festive Holiday.
Why not go for the full whack and say...
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy Eid.
Yes.
Happy Eid, of course.
All of that. So we've had a few adventures this year with our holiday to the seaside, and our dice rolling. That was fun.
Dice rolling, that was really good, wasn't it?
We went on a boat early in the year, nearly froze to death.
Oh yes, that's right. Of course, we went on the what was it? It was the
Greenwich boat
from Greenwich to Waterloo.
Yeah, it was very cold that day. I think it was the 1st of April. It was very cold. And
kind of hoping for better weather, but it's still, I mean, it's bracing.
Yeah.
You get to see all the sights.
And we might have plans for adventures next year. Well, I'm sure we'll have some adventures, whatever. But,
yeah, of course. We always plan is to find something to do, don't we?
Yeah. What will you be doing much Christmas?
Christmas time, I'm booked into a hotel for a couple of nights because they've got a nice swimming pool. Mm-hmm. So I love swimming, and also the room that comes with the bath, and I only ever have a shower at home, so
yeah,
that would be luxury as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So that I'm looking forward to that. And then we've also going to the Shard, going up to the top of the Shard. And then the other thing that we're doing around Christmas time is Kew Gardens because of the lights, which they always put on a great show. Got fully booked this year, but we managed to make it in for the 29th. So looking forward to that.
Sounds like. What about New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve we haven't properly planned yet. I've got a horrible feeling that it's going to be lots of party food and huge amounts of calories and Prosecco, and we're not going to do what we did a few years back, which was actually go and see the actual fireworks, because that is an absolute crowded nightmare.
Do they charge you now to even?
They charge for that misery, because you are standing around for about 5 or 6 hours before in the cold or rain or both, waiting for the fireworks.
Last year I played Fortnite at midnight, and they did a lovely firework display on Fortnite.
Oh, there you go.
And also, if you missed it at UK time, you got it an hour later.
Well, I think that's a little bit better. I think that's of our age that it's better to be looking at these things from the comfort of a sofa.
I was dressed as a rabbit with a machine gun, going around shooting people.
Yes, and what about Fortnite?
Oh, Fortnite. Oh no, just dressed like a normal person.
Oh, really? Okay. You didn't get into any trouble for that, did you?
No, no one ever found out. No one listens to this
podcast. No, bloody massacre in Byfleet and all that. Oh, well.
No, we noticed. Anyway, well, thank you for your update, and have a very happy Christmas and a very Merry 2024.
Merry Hanukkah to you.
And you'll be 50.
Not in hexadecimal, 32. Don't forget.
Oh, I'm 32 then.
Well, okay then. I'll let you have that.
Oh dear. Right, listeners, let's get back to whatever we were doing before. Goodbye.
Hello, everybody. This is Muffley, wishing all listeners of the Shy Life podcast a very very happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
Paul, what was it that you got, for your present? You didn't say. I got two things. One of the things was a microphone, like a clip-on mic that I'm hoping will, really improve some of the sound when we're out and about. I mean, it's always difficult because no matter where you put a microphone, the wind seems to find a way of interrupting. But yeah, and the other present, no, I'm not gonna say. You have to say, Paul. I can't. It was a surprise, a nice surprise, but no, that's between Gianluca and me. Oh, Paul, what's going on? Nothing. It's just, some things aren't for sharing. Oh, dear, that's dreadful. You can't. I mean, but you have to tell us. No. Let's just say it was edible. Edible? Edible. Was it a big fish? Barry's by the sea, isn't it? Was it a big fish? Maybe. Well, maybe. Who knows? Well, the secrecy is going to drive us crazy. I know, that's why I'm doing it. Let your imaginations imagine what my mysterious second present was. We'll find out one day. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Oh, Paul, you tricky trickster. Yeah, anyway, that's all we've got time for. So let's say goodbye. Thank you, listeners. I hope none of your gifts have been delayed in the mail. I hope everything has got to you on time. But, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. So, yeah, you take care. We'll say goodbye for now, but we've got plenty of episodes in the can. But don't go away. There's still a little bit more to the story to come. Yeah, all right. Bye-bye for now. Goodbye, listeners. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm determined to find out what this mystery present was. I wouldn't bother. I really wouldn't. Oh, dear. Anyway, Paul, what happened with Bettina and the music box? Yes, at least you can share that story. Yes, I guess I can. I think it all began with a conversation between her and Douglas, her ghost butler. Oh, yes.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, madam. Can I help? You seem dismayed.
Oh, darling, I wouldn't say dismayed. It's just this music box.
Don't you like it, madam?
Oh, I do. I love it. But, oh, golly, I don't like to say this to you, but I did want your advice.
Of course, madam. What exactly is your question?
Well, darling, do you think it could be haunted?
Haunted? What makes you think that?
You know, sometimes when I play the tune, I hear a little sort of haunting laugh. You know, not quite like that, but no, it's as if somebody's in there, or something is in there, or, well, I don't know. Do you think it could be haunted?
The music box? Well, I won't say it couldn't be, because that would be a lie. It could well be haunted. Would you like me to examine it?
Oh, darling, would you? Oh, yes, I'd like that. Oh, gosh. A haunted music box. Oh, darling, well, I guess it's nothing to be worried about. It won't be an evil ghost, will it?
Well, I don't think so, but I hadn't sort of sensed anything, but let me find out for you. And if there is a ghost in there, I'll try and get it to leave or something. Yes, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, I assure you, madam.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Douglas. It quite made me jump the other day, I must admit. I nearly fell out of my 8-inch platform heels.
That can't be allowed to happen. Don't you worry, I'll find out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I can hear the theme music playing. Oh, well, hopefully you'll be able to solve this mystery.
I promise. I'll do my very best.
I gotta go now! Bye! Gotta go! Bye!
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
It's been good, but yeah, definitely time to come home now.
Wow, really? No kidding.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
What's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast. Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
That is so cringe, oh my god.
You're a man of culture as well.
Oh dear. Oh. Yes, I can definitely sense something. Something's not normal about this box. Yes, I never noticed before. Well, I shall speak directly to it. Yes. Oh dear. It's not easy to knock on the door of a music box when you're a ghost. I may have to say it. Knock, knock, knock. Tap, tap, tap. Hello. Hello. Oh. No good ignoring me. Now listen here, spirit. I know that you're possessing this music box. I demand that you reveal yourself. Come on now. Show yourself. I will count to 3, and you will emerge. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3.
Alright, I was only having a little fun.
Oh my, good grief. Who is that? Who are you? You startled me.
Ah, come on now, Douglas. Don't tell me you've forgotten me already. It's me, your old friend, Boo. Your old buddy, you know, the handsome one from Italy. Can you believe it? I'm here. Just like we discussed in our voice messages.
Goodness gracious, Boo, it's you. It really is. I'm astonished. Oh.
I'm sorry, Dee. I should have warned you that it was coming, but I wanted it to be a surprise. I thought it was the easiest way to travel. Take a trip in an object that was traveling your way. I must say that tune did begin to get on my nerves after a while. It was quite a bumpy ride to Indie Mail. But never mind, I'm here now.
But how on earth did you know that the music box would even be coming here?
I knew you'd ask that. Let's say I just have a quite close friendship with that nice young man, Gianluca. He even lets me his body on occasion. He's quite a gentleman. Sometimes I think I sound a bit, like him, but anyway, it's bound to happen if you borrow someone's body.
Boo, you never fail to surprise me. Ah, well, I suppose all that matters is that you're here. How wonderful. Bettina is very attached to that music box, so I'm glad it was only you possessing it, and not some evil poltergeist.
Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but, I do think that box might be slightly cursed. I did hear voices inside it a few times, but anyway, keep an eye on it. And they say I don't mean to scare you.
Oh, dear me. Well, I shall do. I'll be quite observant. I assure you, we can't have the mistress being harmed. Anyway, maybe it'll be fine.
Let's hope so. Hey, I'm just glad to be out of there.
Of course. Anyway, there are other matters to be focused on now. I'm excited to see you. I'm going to make sure that you have an absolutely fantastic holiday. How long do you expect to stay around?
Oh, well, that's the thing, dear fellow. I don't really know. I mean, that music box was on a one-way trip here. I'm not sure how I'll get home, unless your mistress can post me home attached to another trinket. Let's just say that I'm going to be here for quite some time. I'm tired of Italy anyway, needed a change of scene. I always did want to see your country.
Oh my, oh goodness, well, I'm sure Bettina won't mind.
You're glad to see me, right? You look a bit pale, dear boy.
That's just a side effect of being a ghost, Boo. You should know that. You're just being cheeky. Of course, I'm glad to see you. You'd just better not misbehave.
Oh, me? Misbehave? Of course not. You know me, Dee. I am an angel. As good as gold. Anyway, are you going to show me up to my room? If you know what I mean.
Oh, Boo, what am I going to do with you?
I have a few ideas. Now, lead the way. I can't wait to see around the house.
Oh, gosh, what have I let myself in for? Just wait until I tell Bettina. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Well, against my better judgment, here we are. Another episode of the Shy Life Podcast. Ugly.
Wow, that was a good episode. Oh, kitty, kitty, dealy. Purr, purr, kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, I love Dee.
What the hell just happened on this show? I mean, seriously, reverse it, because I lost... What's going on? What happened?
This is just the weirdest thing I've ever heard. 690.
All right. I was only having a little fun.
Bo, 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 lo, lo, lo. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh my goodness. Et voilà.